So the first process that we have seen is the procurement of material for stock purpose. Okay. So whenever we procure the material for stock purpose, or we just store it, okay, so that kind of material, those kind of materials are called, this is a business process, this is the business process for procuring a material, which material we will be storing in the warehouses. Okay, so what kind of materials will be there? Let's say some kind of raw material will be there, let's say some kind of trading materials will be there, or let's say some kind of daily uses materials will be there. Let's take an example. Let's say you need to manufacture a, let's say you need to manufacture any kind of thing. Okay, let's say you want to manufacture a car, or you want to manufacture a mobile, or you want to manufacture anything. Okay, so you need to have some raw materials to manufacture that product, any xyz, any product you want to manufacture. For that one, you need to have, let's say, 2 3 raw materials. So if you are in a plant, if you are in a manufacturing plant, so every day there will be manufacturing process will be there. Daily you will be requiring, let's say, 5 to 10 materials or hundreds of material as per your production planning. Okay, whatever plans are there, you need to have a raw material for a regular basis. So these materials we cannot go for a procurement or purchasing once the material are finished, or once the material are over from the warehouse, because if we are going for that process, so our manufacturing process will be disturbed, right? So if you are going for the raw material after it is finished, then once you are procuring, it will definitely take some time. So that will be causing, let's say, that will be causing disturbances or stopping in your production, stopping in your work. So that is not correct. Okay, so for this kind of process, we need to procure, or we need to um, buy or purchase these products on a stock basis. So let's say I will be buying, let's say this month I am consuming 100 stock, so I will be purchasing this 100 stock by previous month. Let's say I will be taking this 100 materials previous month, or let's say starting of this month I will be having this 100 materials. Let's say I have a requirement for 100 materials. Okay, so this is one process. Second thing, you are having a trading material. What is a trading material? Trading material are those which you are just buy and sell. Okay, like take an example of any kind of departmental stores are there. Let's say Big Bazaar is there. Let's say Reliance Smart is there. What are they? They are the trading, let's say they are the trading companies. Okay, they don't manufacture anything, they just buy the product from the manufacturer and they sell over there. Let's take any example. Let's say biscuits are selling over there, let's say soaps are selling over there, any kind of let's say vegetables are selling over there, any kind of house staples are selling over there. So they are not manufacturing anything, they are just buying from the manufacturer and they are selling it over there. So daily also, in that process also, they will require some daily based product. Let's say daily they are selling 100 of soaps, or daily they are selling 50 let's say atta packets. Okay, so they will be needing 50 atta packets per day. So they will not go for, once the atta packets are over, they will not go for procurement. Rather, they will be storing this product in their warehouses. Let's say for there will be limits for that one. Let's say I need 50 days items, or I need 30 days items, or I need 15 days items, as per your, let's say, supplying capacity. Okay, how your manufacturer or how your supplier is supplying, as per that you can have a some days capacity stock in your warehouse, or in your, let's say, storage location. Okay, so this is the trading material. Similarly, daily use materials are also there. Okay, let's take a simple example. So let's say in your household, okay, so in your household you buy staples, right? So you don't go to buy, let's say, sugar daily, 10 grams or daily 20 grams. You will not go like that, right? You will buy 1 kilogram or 2 kilogram of let's say sugar in a month, and you will be using that. Let's say your sugar is going to end in 5 days or 10 days. You will know, like, this is my, I'm using per day, I'm using 5 grams or 10 grams, so 50 grams or 100 grams are left, so I'll be needing a sugar. So I'll be going to the market and I'll be buying the sugar again, right? So I'll be not going daily to buy the daily staples. Okay, this is one more example. So similarly, businesses will work in this way. Okay, so these are the examples of stock materials. These materials you can procure for stock. So how this process will happen? So like we have discussed, let's take an example, like we have taken the example of household product. So whenever you see that, okay, I need this sugar of 1 kg or 2 kg, I will need that product in 5 days. So there will be a requirement. So requirement means purchase requisition, requirement or demand. Okay, whatever thing you can say. So there is a demand of a product or there is a requirement of a product. So we will be creating a PR in the system. So PR will show us like what is the requirement of the product, how much product is required, when it is required, and where it is required. Let's say plant and storage location, every details we will be getting in the purchase requisition. Now if we know the supplier, okay, now you know where you can buy the sugar, you already know it. So what you can do, directly you can go to the shop or directly you can go to the supplier. Let's say I will buy from the big basket, I will buy from online platform, so I know I can buy from here, so I'll directly go and I will place a order on big basket, and big basket will provide me the material. Let's say I don't know where I should buy. Okay, in that case, what will I do? I will search for the supplier. How I will search for the supplier? Let's say I know the supplier that Big Basket is delivering to me. Let's say GeoMart is delivering to me. Flipkart grocery or Flipkart something is there, so they are also delivering to me. Let's say Amazon grocery, they are also delivering to me. These are the online platforms where I can buy. Grofers are there, and any other local online platforms maybe would be there. Okay, so now I list out like these are the 5 suppliers from whom I can buy the sugar. Okay, now what I need to do, I need to send a quotation. So for this, like for our retail service, we don't have to ask for a quotation, we will just go there and we will search for how many what is the price of that one, how many days it will take to deliver me. Okay, so these kind of things I will be checking on the online. So similarly, it is available on the online platform, so I can directly go and I can check over there. For the businesses, it is not available over the internet, so what you can do, you have to send a RFQ, request for quotation. You have to send them. So request for quotation, you have to send them like, I need this material of this quantity by the delivery time of this. So what should be the price, what should be the delivery time, please send us quotation. So once you are sending the RFQ, your vendors will be sending a quotation to you. So we can send this product on this date, on this price, we will be sending. Okay, so they will be sending you a quotation. So now what will you do? You will compare the quotation. Okay, so as we have discussed yesterday, in SAP, we have a standard process of comparing only the price for the quotation. That's why it is also called as a price comparison also. Okay, we are not comparing any other things. We will be comparing or we will be selecting the vendor based on the price. Okay, that's why it is called as a price comparison. So now we will be comparing the price and now we will be getting like, let's say this is the vendor one or number one vendor, number two vendor, number three vendor as per their price. Let's say someone is saying 40 rupees, someone is saying 35 rupees, someone is saying 38 or 37 rupees. So as per that, who will be giving you on a cheaper price, you have to go for that. Okay, so now you have decided which is your supplier where you have to buy. Let's say in the online platform, you find that Big Basket is selling it, and Big Basket can deliver it on, let's say, 5 minutes to 10 minutes. They can deliver it, and they are providing it at a normal price or nominal price. They are providing it. So now what will you do? You will go to the Big Basket to purchase this sugar. Okay, now what will you do? You have selected your supplier or vendor. Let's say you have selected the vendor, or the Big Basket you have selected. Now you will send a purchase order to the Big Basket platform. Okay, now that is called a purchase order. So purchase order is a legal document from your company to the vendor, which will have all the terms and conditions. Okay, all of the terms and conditions of the price, of the delivery time, of the, like, everything will be there. Every legal term, every terms and conditions will be there in the purchase order. Now we will send a purchase order to the vendor. Vendor will send you the per, send you the material as per the delivery time. Let's say I am delivering, I am asking for a purchase order now. The delivery date is on Monday, so on Monday they will be sending us the material. So which day I will receive the material, on that day I can do the goods receipt. Okay, then the goods receipt will happen. After the goods receipt, after the goods receipt, there will be the invoice receipt is there. So this process will work as per the standard P2P cycle. Whatever things we have discussed, this work on the similar way of standard procurement cycle. So anyone can ask you what is a standard procurement cycle or what is a P2P cycle. You can answer like this. Okay, and while you are answering, answer it in a proper way. Okay, like how we are explaining it over here, you can just explain like that one. Okay, don't go for extra explanations, like in the details, don't go over there. So you can just explain the flow. How you can explain? Let's say if someone is asking you how the P2P cycle is working, or how the standard procurement process will happen. So starting, you can say the standard procurement cycle, we can use it for raw materials, or for daily used materials, or for trading materials, which we can stock the materials. So those kind of material we can use it for stock procurement materials. Okay, so how this process will happen? So first, let's say there is a demand of the product, then one PR will be created. Then after the PR, if the vendor is unknown, then we will be going for request for quotation. Then we will be getting the quotation from the vendor. Then we will be comparing the price. After the price comparison, we will be vendor vendor will be selected. As per the selected vendor, we can create a purchase order, and the purchase order will be sent to the vendor, and vendor will send us the product on the delivery date. We have to receive the product, or we have to make the goods receipt, and then once the goods receipt is done, we have to do the invoice receipt, and we have to do the payment. So this is basically the cycle. So you have to explain it like this. Okay, so it's a simple way of explaining. You have to explain the process in a simple way, so that it is understood by everyone. You should not complicate the process. Okay, because everyone who are, let's say, who don't know the process, or they don't have a background of, let's say, core background, or they have not worked in anywhere, they complicate this process, they explain it in a complicated way, so that it will be very difficult for you. Like, it will be having a negative impression on you, that you are only confusing. Okay, so don't confuse anyone. So try to explain it this way. So this is the first way of explaining. Now after that, there are some things are there. So while we are moving forward, we will be looking into it, how you can explain it properly. For right now, you can just explain the flow. Okay, right now we are explaining the flow, we are explaining the process. So that is how you can explain.